Hello, Toy Collector fans. Universal Toy Collector here, and welcome to the channel. And welcome to Toy Photographers Showcase Live. Yes, hello everybody. Hoping you are keeping well and hoping you've all had a fairly decent Christmas. I can't believe those 2 days are over and it's almost 2026. So I've got my two guests with me. Well, one guest and one co-host. I'll get them on in a second. But first of all, let's say hello to you, the chat. So who have we got in the chat? We've got Des T. Good evening, folks. I hope everyone is enjoying the holidays. Yeah, it's all good. All good so far. We have Hoppy. Evening all. Hello, sir. How are you? Nice of you to join us. We also have Delvian. Evening all. I'm relaxing now, Des, planning a beef roast to make up for missing Christmas dinner. Yeah, Delvin's not been too well over the Christmas holidays, so yeah, I'm hoping you're feeling better now, sir. Who else have we got in the chat? We've got people saying hello. We've got Kieran Ball. Hello, Des T, Hobbies Creations, and Delvian. Glad you're feeling better, Delvian. Yeah, absolutely. What's this? Hi, Hoppy. That's Des saying hello to everybody. Who else have we got? Hello, Kieran. How are you? Nice you join us. Thank you. We've got Georgie. Evening all. Evening, Georgie. Well, I know what you're doing, so there's no point me asking how you are and stuff like that, because you were all right when I left you about 5 minutes ago. Who else we got? Again, everybody's saying hello. Who do we have here? We got Des saying hello to Georgie. And we've got Georgie saying hello to people. Okay, so we've got a few people in the chat. Right, so, yeah, let's get our co-host on. It's Mark BobaHicks. Hello, sir. How are you?
How's it going, Stu? How's it going, everybody out there in internet land? Hope you all had a nice Christmas.
Are you surprised at how quickly it's all gone by? It's all sort of like flown by, isn't it?
Oh man, it's flown. It's really flown. It was a weird year as well, because it didn't feel too Christmassy, and then all of a sudden Christmas was just on us, and now it's over for another year.
It has gone quick. It has gone quick. So what have you got planned for 2026? Anything exciting?
Oh, dude, more the same. More the same.
Yeah.
I never change my ways. I'll still be sitting in this chair, chatting about toys and, collecting and all that good stuff.
That's good. What about toy photography? Because we've said before on numerous occasions on like the Toy Photographers Showcase series that you do like taking some photos, especially toy photography. And I've got one here. So just talk us through this, because I think this is absolutely superb. I'm loving the lighting on there, the colors, and those dinosaurs look pretty real. I mean, they are superb.
Those dinosaurs are superb, and thank you very much for saying your kind words. So these dinosaurs, the two velociraptors, are made by a company called Rebor, and they make highly detailed dinosaur. I wouldn't call them action figures. They're more kind of like statues with moving limbs. Like you can articulate the jaw and move the arms, but that's about all you can do. Other than that, they're in static poses, but they're just really, really nicely sculpted. And these particular the model's actually called Winston because it's based off the Stan Winston raptor from Jurassic Park, and they really capture that essence, of the Jurassic Park raptor. And that big Brachiosaurus, that's actually just like a rubber Papo dinosaur. I think I might have even gotten that in Smith's Toys a few years ago. Really nice looking toy, beautifully detailed and painted. But look, it's the figures themselves that do a lot of the heavy lifting in this photo. I have to say, they're just like hyper realistic almost. You can't fail but take a nice, you can't help but take a nice photo with dinosaurs like these.
I mean, you're really lucky because where you are, you get to take photography outside, and that's predominantly where you do all your toy photography, like at the bottom of your garden. But with the background there, the sky, the clouds, the lighting and stuff like that, and the rockery, I mean, good God, it looks like it's, I mean, we've said this on numerous occasions to plenty of other toy photographers that we've spoken to over the last few episodes and stuff. It looks like something out of a still of a movie and something like that. It is that good. I mean, the lighting is just superb, and the paint apps on those figures are just absolutely incredible.
Well, thanks very much, Stu. I do appreciate you you saying that. But
That's
and
quite
look,
right.
I'm sure anybody, if you follow me on Instagram, you know my style. And yeah, I do like going out to the corner of the garden, setting up the rocks, and getting a bit of fresh air on a nice cloudy day. Get the sky behind whatever the subject of the photo is, and just have a nice time taking photos. Now, I probably actually haven't been outside since around maybe late October, early November. I was starting to get a bit weary of the kind of cold and breezy weather, but I'll be back outside, I'm sure, in the spring, with a spring in my step, ready to take
Yeah.
more next year.
Yeah. No, awesome. Look forward to seeing some more of your photography for sure. Right. So we're going to get a guest on now. He was, well, we've spoken to him before, so we just get him on. It's Andy from Sidiousart. Hello, sir. How are you?
Not bad, thank you, Stu. You? Hey,
Yeah.
BobaHicks.
All good. All good. Good to see you again, my friend. What have you been up to since we last spoke?
Oh, I have been trying to organise some shows for 2026
Okay.
to go and sell our artwork, and coming up with a few more ideas for the back end of this year and for next year as well. It just costs a lot of money because if I don't have the figures, I have to jump on eBay and buy them.
Yeah.
And some of them are most of them are getting really expensive.
Yeah. Yeah. Because I mean, we'll get to your artwork in a minute, but well, I've seen you up at Echo Base. I've recently bought some art from you from Etsy, and I'm going to show you what I bought because I just thought this was absolutely superb. How's about that? Hang on.
Thanks.
Right, let me just so here we have, and it's all vintage Kenner figures. The Falcon there in the background with the figures there at the front. I mean, that looks just absolutely superb. I'm loving the lighting. It feels very atmospheric, I've got to say. It's just an incredible piece. And this was the last one on your Etsy page. So I thought, sod it, I'm gonna snag that. So I did. So there you go. Pretty cool.
Thanks for purchasing.
That's all right. That's okay. I won't lie. I am going to be looking at getting a few more off you. So yeah. We've just got someone else in the chat. Where'd he go? Where is Epic Badger? Here he is. Howdy, Stu and BobaHicks and everyone else. Hello, Jess. How are you? Nice to join us. Hoping you had a good Christmas. Hoping you're keeping well and wishing you all the best for 2026. So you predominantly do all your... Oh, get rid of that. Unbelievable. You predominantly do all of your like toy photography with vintage collection or vintage Kenner Star Wars figures. Why is that?
Oh, it must have been, time's gone so quick. It was about 10 years ago, I went to London Comic Con and I just saw all these sole traders coming up with these fantastic ideas. And I wanted to be part of that idea. I wanted to go to London Comic Con. I wanted to attend lots of other different shows, but I didn't know what to do. So I am a part-time kind of wedding photographer, been doing that for about 15 years. And I thought, I can hold a camera, I can use a camera. How am I going to get into these shows? What's not happening at the moment? All these people at London Comic Con, they're coming out with fantastic ideas. What didn't I see? I love the Kenner figures. So I put my photography and the Kenner figures together with a few different sort of backgrounds and practiced and yeah, it just kind of all came together.
No, fair enough. Fair enough. So why was it specifically the Kenner figures? I mean, you could have done any sort of like Star Wars figures, couldn't you? TVC, Power of the Force. Why the vintage Kenner?
I could have. I couldn't really find a lot of people on Instagram doing, the Kenner theme.
Yeah.
I grew up with the Kenner toys. My two elder brothers had loads of Kenner toys. They got handed down to me. I basically grew up with them. I loved Star Wars. So I guess that's kind of, everything kind of molded together on that. The new modern figures are fantastic. They're so detailed. But I just have a bit of a thing for the Kenner Star Wars line.
Kenner Star Wars. Yeah. Yeah. No, it's cool. We've got some of your work up now. By the way, chat, if any of you in the chat, I've got a question for Andy, please feel free to ask away. So we're going to get some slides up. So hang on, who's this? Hey, super awesome. Hello, sir. How are you? Nice you to join us. Thank you very much. He's saying hello all. Hello, sir. Nice you to join us again. Thank you. Right, so let's get some of these up. So, I mean, Boba, you lead on this one, man.
I love it, and you're going to hear me say this a lot tonight. I I absolutely love this one. Um, I know Stu was asking you there a moment ago about why you use the vintage Kenner figures. I actually think the fact that you are using these figures is what kind of makes it that S tier level of photography you're doing, because you're working with figures that, let's be honest, they just don't really have much articulation at all. So when you're looking to get that shot, you have to just do a lot of little manipulations and whatnot to just get it perfect the way you want it. And it's probably a lot more difficult when you're dealing with 5 POA. So you'll always have an extra level of respect from me just for kind of dealing with those figures as your main kind of subject. But this right here is an excellent example. You've just taken two characters and made them come to life like they're action figures, but it's beautiful. And as we're going to see going through your stuff this evening, this is the type of thing that, back in the day, you could almost picture this as promotional material to actually
Yeah.
sell Kenner Star Wars to people. Like it's so impressive. If I was a kid looking at this, my mind would be blown. I'd be very excited to look at something like this back in the day. And now as an adult even, it's really, really cool.
Yeah, yeah. I love the background. I think the red really does sort of like make the two figures in the foreground pop there. So, what was your inspiration behind this, Andy?
Well, the inspiration was quite simple. I couldn't make Echo Base in October.
Okay,
So I was photographing a wedding. I was gutted. Obviously, I like photographing weddings, but I really wanted to attend Echo Base. I couldn't attend it. And of course, over the course of months, they drop who's going to be attending Echo Base. And the guy that was playing Yakface was going to be there.
Yep.
The lady that was going to be that played Amana Man was going to be there, and she doesn't sign a lot. Yakface, the gentleman that does do Yakface, does sign a lot, but the lady that plays Amana Man, I think, did a convention or two many, many years ago.
Yeah.
But hasn't done anything since. So I just thought, wow, I can't afford to jump on eBay and buy a Man or Yakface. And I had a very good friend of mine who I actually met through Echo Base a handful of years ago.
Okay.
Actually lent me these two figures.
Oh, cool.
The idea was to photograph them and get them signed.
Yeah.
But the inspiration was these two people going to Echo Base.
Okay. Okay. I mean, will they be attending again?
I don't know. The gentleman that played, I forget his name. I'm really sorry, Yakface.
Is it Sean Crawford who plays Yakface?
I'm going to say yes.
Okay. Don't quote me on that. I think it's Sean Crawford.
But he has done it a couple of times. The lady that's done a Man hasn't done a convention for a long, long time. So, so I'm thinking to myself, if I take a picture of these two figures and get them signed, they're going to be fairly rare,
Yeah.
So I got myself. So Mark, who actually lent me the figures, took the prints to Echo Base and got them signed for me. They look fantastic.
Yeah, no, they do. They look really good, and the photography or the photograph is just. I echo what Mark says. This could be a promotion for the vintage Kenner toy line. It really is that good. It's awesome. So, have you ever thought about doing yourself like a magazine of your artwork or anything like that? Not artwork, your photography. Putting like a magazine together.
That's a really good. I've got like a little portfolio that I've put a few photographs in, but I should do like a little book, shouldn't I?
Yes, you should.
Maybe a little backstory behind it, because this picture went completely wrong. Maybe I could do. Maybe I could do like a little, section where I kind of describe what happened. So what happened was I've actually done 3 of these prints.
Yeah.
So I did the first one with Yak Face, who was no, sorry, not Yak Face, Reeves, who was on
Reeves,
the
yeah.
right hand side.
Yeah.
So originally, those three actors were going to be at Echo Base.
Okay.
The gentleman that played Reeves pulled out.
Right.
So I did this. I redid it with these two guys, and then posted it on Instagram saying, you know, this is our new image. And then somebody contacted me and said, actually, you've got Yak Face's spear accessory the wrong way round. The picture that you're looking at now is the right way round.
Right. Okay.
Spent so much time getting the lighting kind of perfect and to blend in with the background.
Yeah.
Honestly, I must have spent maybe about, in total, maybe about 4-ish hours photographing things, putting things together, twisting things, adjusting things, getting the lighting right, you know.
That's a lot of time, isn't it?
So so I did 3 shoots.
Okay. I think we've you've sent us the one with Reeves as well, so we'll get to that in a bit. There was a comment, where's it gone? So Des has put, as much as I love all lines of Star Wars figures, it would be interesting to see the same photo but with different lines. Oh, okay. Have you ever thought about doing that?
I have done. Yeah, of course I've done. I just haven't got them. So if anybody wants to lend me them, you know,
okay,
that'd be fantastic.
Okay, cool.
And maybe drop some ideas as well.
Yeah, cool. Well, we've been joined by the Humble Collector, UK. Hello, sir. How are you? Nice of you to join us. Hoping you had a good Christmas and hope you have a good New Year's. Nice to see you. We've also been joined by George Aitken. Why, hello, sir. How are you? Thank you for joining us. Very much appreciated. And I think there's people. Oh, hang on. We've got a question from Georgie. Question for Andy. Have you ever or would you ever produce a calendar? Ooh. There you go.
It's a really good question, George. That'd
be Georgie.
Georgie, apologies.
I'm not even allowed to call her George. I get into trouble, so yeah.
Georgie, I have done a calendar, but I haven't done it for the last couple of years.
Okay. Why? Will be her next question.
Because they've always sold out, which is great on Etsy, and I've taken them to shows.
Yeah.
They're getting so expensive. I know I sound like a right cheap ass, but they're getting so expensive. And the only time I could really, you know, buy 50 or 60 is maybe this time I was looking in since October.
Right.
When it got down to December, the manufacturers, all these different, you know, companies were slashing their prices right at the last second.
Okay.
So that's why. Sorry to give you
no. That's
the
okay.
calendars are getting so super expensive.
Yeah, no, fair enough. Right, let's move on to the next one then. So, well, obviously not Star Wars. So, what's this one?
So, I think this is Kenner again.
Okay.
I'm pretty sure it's Kenner. Don't quote me on the year. I'm going to say about 1995. I found this in my mum and dad's loft when I popped up there a few months ago. I didn't have the rifle. I did have the girder thing on the floor.
Yeah.
So again, I had to jump on eBay, crossing my fingers that somebody was selling, you know, this gun, this rifle, which somebody was.
Sorry, I have seen your question, Delvey, and I get to that in a minute. And I just want to say quickly, good morning, Dean. Hoping you're keeping well. Yeah, Delvey, I get to your question in a minute, mate. No worries. Sorry, Andy.
So yeah, I think it's a Kenner figure from the 1990s, just a year after Terminator 2 came out, and it's the T1000 as he's kind of in policeman form and liquid form.
Wow, that's pretty cool. Mark?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, go on, Andy. Sorry.
Oh, I was going to say I had a red to kind of add extra effect. I had to the left. I had a lamp, a red lamp, just kind of boosting off that red light that's upon him.
Oh, okay. Cool. Sorry, Mark.
I'm absolutely loving the love being shown for a Kenner T2 toy. I think anybody who watches the Boba Joe show know that Johnny and myself, as well as Jesse Hughes, who's watching at the moment, we're a big fan of these 90s Kenner lines. And it's kind of the same thing as the vintage Star Wars, except it's blown up to a slightly bigger scale. It's like, you know, a 4.5-inch, 5-inch scale you're talking about, but you're still dealing with the same limitations using using the old Star Wars figures. But this is brilliant. This is brilliant, and I actually would say this is too good probably for Kenner's promotional material they were putting out in the 90s. Like, this is actually more, there's more effort put into this than they did back in the day. So yeah, no, this is a real winner for me, and I'm just actually loving the fact that one of these figures is getting featured in your work. I know you have done plenty of non-Star Wars stuff, but it was a nice surprise seeing a Kenner T2 figure here. That's really cool.
Yeah, no, that is pretty awesome. I'm liking that. So the question from Delvin is a question to both of you. How do you select / create the backgrounds for your shots? So Mark, we'll start with you.
So if I'm going outside, then it's really the weather that's dictating what the background is gonna look like. I think if you are interested, or if you've ever seen my Instagram, you'll notice that I like to go out on cloudy days, because I think clouds can really make a photo look dramatic, especially if you're kind of shooting from looking up, you know. So you know, the weather will kind of dictate the type of background I get. Now, when I'm doing an indoor shot, I kind of have lots of little bits and pieces and tricks that I use. Like, I've got cardboard backgrounds, I've got actual play sets, dioramas, all sorts of stuff, you know, lighting setups. And I'm sure Andy is going to tell you he's got a pretty elaborate setup as well when it comes to the indoor shot. But really, for choosing backgrounds, it's all in the eye of the beholder. Like, what do you want to do? Like, what type of shot are you looking for? Because that's going to dictate, you know, the type of background that you choose.
Yeah, I mean, you predominantly do all yours outside. I mean, have you ever done any? Well, you have, because I've seen them. You know, one of, I'm not going to give it away, but the one with the alien and the stormtroopers that you've got on your Instagram, that is one of my favorite toy photography photos that you've done. And when you told me how you did it, I was just like totally gobsmacked. I was like, unbelievable. So yeah, if you guys check out Mark's Instagram page, yeah, and look at that alien and stormtrooper photo, it's just incredible. It's a fantastic photograph, and how he's done it, it just blew my mind when you told me how you did that and what you used for the background.
And it's just like I said, depending on what you're looking for, like,
Yeah,
we'll all have an idea in our mind about how we want it to look. You know, when you're going outside, you know, you're kind of at the mercy of the elements as well. Like, you could go outside and just come to the conclusion fairly quickly, it's too dark, it's too windy, I actually just can't do anything out here. So it's kind of like, you know, nothing's going to happen here. It doesn't matter what type of background you wanted, you're not going to get any background, because it's not favorable conditions to shoot in. But you know, it's one of those things, it's trial and error as well. If you're looking for something, you just got to keep on trying new ways to get it.
yeah.
I bet you keep your figures by your back door or front door for when that perfect day comes along.
That's it. That's sage advice right there.
What about you, Andy? How do you select your backgrounds? And,
Yeah, I mean, like Mark just said, I've actually done it a few times when you've gone outside and then the day's perfect, and then suddenly a storm comes, or the opposite. You know, there's no clouds, it all clears. So you have to take your figures back inside and just wait for that perfect moment. Keep them by the door. Keep your camera by the door and all the figures, and then run back out again when the time's right. But
I mean, do you do photography outside then? Well, obviously you do with your wedding photography, but toy photography, because I don't think I've seen many of your. I think there's one with the biker scout in the rain, which I thought was absolutely superb. That is quality. That is really good.
Yeah, so I laid in the rain for that one.
Yeah.
And did that shot. But no, I haven't done too many.
Yeah.
It totally depends. Your question, the question was perfect. You know, on a nice summer's day, I took out the Ewoks and one of those AT-STs.
Yeah.
So I've done a handful, but
Yeah.
most of my thoughts, you know, it's not a case of I'll go and do it there and then. It's sometimes months of thinking and coming up with the perfect idea, whether it's outside or getting a friend of mine to make some of the backgrounds, or like Mark said, like a cardboard cutout. I've had plenty of them in the past as a backdrop. And of course, like pictures that you find on the internet. You know, I'm luckily, because of my wedding photography, I've got quite a big screen. I can't remember how big it is. I'm going to say like 27 inches, so it's quite big. So I have the mobility and, you know, the time and effort and the size of the screen to be able to you know, really play around with the backgrounds. So yeah, there's plenty of options.
Yeah, awesome. Right, okay, let's move on to the next one. See, again, I just think this is superb. I'm loving the lighting. I always thought the lighting on the carbon fusion chamber with the orange and the blues and I just think it works so well. Mark?
And this is another one of these pictures, and I know it came up a little bit the last time we spoke to Andy. This is where, you know, my mind cannot really detect what may be physically there and what may be a background, and it's just mesmerizing to look at. But I absolutely love it. It captures that scene in Empire perfectly, and just the whole layout, man. The troopers either side of the carbonite Han. It's just beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful, and the arrangement of the figures. Everybody's where they should be. Like, you've obviously studied the film itself closely to kind of get the layout of your characters here. So I can really appreciate that as well. A beautiful picture, one that would look beautiful framed as well, I'd imagine.
Yeah. Well, we're going to jump to Andy's Etsy page a little bit later on, and you'll see some of his artwork framed there. Again, the just, I love the colors, the lighting and stuff like that. So what is real and what's not real? Obviously the figures are real. I mean, you know, what's the background? Is that just like a what do you call it? A computer generalized background, like a picture from somewhere else, obviously.
Yeah, you can, if you do like a search on the internet, you can find many sort of backgrounds with the freezing chamber. So that is what I have done on this particular image. But again, like I said to you a few months ago, I was thinking of this image for months and trying to find the right background. You know, every other week I'd search and put in like different keywords, but the background is, you know, an image from the internet. The floor is plastic, black plastic, so you get that reflectiveness from the figures. And I did buy from, I forget the guy's name on Etsy, but if you look below the carbonate, it's got like a little stand. I've coloured in the stand because it was see-through, just to make it blend in a little bit more. But yeah, you've got like a little stand. I haven't edited anything, so if you look between the stand and the carbonate, you've got like a little plastic. Yeah, so that's part of the stand.
Yeah, the stands
I could have edited out.
Andy, the stands from Action Plastics.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, because I
shout out to Action Plastics.
Yeah, Ben, nice one. He gets everywhere. But yeah, no, I've got one of those. Do you know what? I didn't even notice that until you said.
Damn it.
Yeah, I can just see it there. But yeah, absolutely superb. So let's just quickly get to the chat. So the Humble Collectors put such talent, loving them. They tell a story in picture form. Yes, they absolutely do. Just want to say hello to Mr. B Customs there. Hello there, Stu, Boba, and Andy. Nice you to join us. Hope you had a good Christmas. He's asking the same. So yeah, we did. Thank you very much. And then we've got a question from Kieran Ball. A question for both. If it were to snow tomorrow, do you have an idea in mind of what figures you would choose to photograph in the snow? Again, we'll start with Mark.
Well, you know, you got to get the AT-AT or the AT-AT. I don't want to offend anybody by saying it the wrong way. You got to get your Imperial Walker out in the snow. So if it were to snow tomorrow for me, I would probably be grabbing my Star Wars Micro Galaxy collection at that, because I have
Okay.
it sitting on the shelf behind me. And I've been kind of waiting for a chance to get some good snow shots with that. And I have a snow speeder as well, so we could definitely get something going there. And like everything else, we can mix our scales around maybe to get something else going. Like we got the vintage collection chicken walker. I could probably put something together with that in the snow, and maybe use some of the micro galaxy vehicles in the background to give the illusion of distance and whatnot. But yeah, I definitely be going for the hot battle scene, because it's it's snowing and it's such a rare occasion to get that. You kind of have to go with hot, I think.
Awesome. Awesome. How about you, Andy?
Yeah, I thought of the snow speeder straight away, and maybe a Wampa.
Yeah. Well,
No, that's the
B
first thing that
Customs
popped
has
in
got
my head. A
Wampa there,
Wampa and
so
a
yeah.
snow speeder, and somebody just
Yeah.
said,
Yeah. No, awesome. Awesome. You've got to have such a superb eye for this kind of thing, toy photography. And I take my hat off to people that can like come up with things like this, and what Mark does as well. Just incredible. It takes a lot of time, a lot of patience. Andy's put Probe Droid, or Delvin Seeks put Probe Droid. Yeah, pretty cool. Right, so yeah, loving this one. Absolutely superb. Right, here we go. Again, simple but effective. That Vader and the Stormtroopers. Mark.
That's beautiful, and I love how you framed Vader here with the troopers kind of flanking on either side, and also the focus versus the blurred troopers to the edges as well. It's just really, really nice shot. Um, I'm going to just guess that it's the reflective surface is another
yeah,
kind of use of that technique you were talking about earlier.
yeah,
And you don't even look. Don't tell us how you did everything. The magician does not have to reveal all his secrets or any of them if he does not wish. But that corridor is very impressive as well. Like I almost kind of feel like I could just like stare down it, like it actually has depth and length
Yeah,
there. Absolutely love this beautiful, beautiful shot.
yeah. I mean, the figures are really clean as well. So, are these actually vintage Kenner figures, or are they the
like the new
updated
retro stuff.
versions? Yeah,
No,
from
they're
Hasbro.
definitely the originals, and
Wow.
especially with when you're photographing something black, you have to clean it. You have to clean it, because if you've got a fairly decent camera that's going to show up every little detail. I've done shoots before where I've gone, right, that was I really like this shot, and you put it into your kind of editing tool just to I just usually straighten things up, but you can see every little dust particle, and it's so annoying. So you have to
Yeah.
redo the shoot, clean the figure. So that's something that's definitely a tip to you guys, whoever's doing action figure photography. Clean your toys.
Give them a dust.
and the floor as well, because the floor can pick up
Yeah.
dust too.
When do you know, both of you, question for both of you, when do you know when you've got that perfect shot? Because I know we've spoken to people before and they could spend hours taking shot after shot after shot after shot, and they never actually get the shot that they're wanting. How do you both know when you've got that perfect shot and you think, I'm not going to get this any better? Mark?
Sometimes, and not often, but there are sometimes where I can literally like feel I got the shot early on while I'm still taking the shots. Those occasions though feel few and far between, to be honest with you. Oftentimes I could be taking like 40 or 50 shots, maybe up to like 70 or 80, depending on the day and if I have time. And yeah, you sometimes then will just have to go through everything you did. Hopefully you like, or like be pleased with some of it. You might not. You might be going back out again tomorrow and trying again. And I'm not like a perfectionist or anything like that, but there's just and I think Andy would kind of know what I'm saying. There are times when you're just not going to be happy with something until you get it a particular way. So you'll keep banging your head against the wall if necessary, just to get it looking right, and you'll do what it takes. But yeah, I've been known to take multiple shots before
Yeah.
settling on whatever shot I decide to go with uploading.
Andy?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, exactly the same. Mark said it. Sometimes you could get it right straight away, and then other times you could be shooting and twisting and changing the characters around. And when you know,
Yeah.
because everything just clicks.
Yeah.
But I've got to the stage now where I just keep everything set up. If I'm not
Okay.
happy with the shot, or if I want to take the SD card out, put it into my kind of editing tool and go through the pictures. And if I'm not happy, I can just come back down to my office and put the card back in and make some adjustments,
Yeah, no, fair dues. Okay, right. So let's move on. This one again, loving this, loving the color palette. I just think it's so cool. Yeah, awesome. Mark?
Yeah, I don't know what the objects are. They look like real rusted scrap or scrap pieces you've used here
spot on.
to
Spot
kind of
on.
set that up, which is really, really cool. Yeah, I'm loving this. I'm absolutely loving this. It's the Dune Sea brought to life in action figure form, and it's beautiful. I like the placement of the Jawas as well. The trio of Jawas there, beautiful, and we can just out of focus. We got is this R4? Is that the name of that droid? I always forget that droid's name.
R5D4. R5D4. Yeah.
R5D4.
There you go.
The broken droid. That guy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love it. I absolutely love it. I love the Tusken just popping out of that as well. Like it's pretty funny.
And I'd like the fact that
Tusken pose.
The sound crawler just looks absolutely immense, doesn't it? I mean, you can definitely tell it's a big vehicle, and I think those figures at the front there just really give it some depth and scale there. So that's pretty cool. I just want to quickly say a big hello to Shabby. Hello, Shabby. So Shabby was going to be doing a live stream tonight, and there was going to be a clash. So I wasn't going to say anything. I was just going to change it from tonight to tomorrow. I went to bed on the Sunday night and woke up on the when was it? I went to bed on the Saturday night, woke up on the Sunday, and Shabby had already kindly changed his live stream. So Shabby will be on tomorrow from 8 p.m. UK time. So he's going to be doing a Q&A. So yeah, get your questions ready for him. I know I've got a couple lined up, and no, it's not going to be anything to do with his Die Hard a Christmas movie. I'm not going down that road again. So Shabby, appreciate you joining us, mate. Thank you very much. Yeah, so back to the photography. Yeah, just absolutely stunning. I mean, how difficult was it for you to find like rusted parts and stuff like that? Did you know what you wanted?
Yeah, well, they're scrap collectors, so I had to find something I can.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Chuck into the shop. Originally, it did. Going back to your previous question, I think I did this over 2 days because I didn't have any scrap. I was like, where can I get some scrap from? And then it dawned on me I did have some in my backyard. So yeah, I put it together. Originally there was one Jawa. I borrowed a couple of Jawas off another friend. So day one wasn't so good because it looked really plain with just the one Jawa. A friend came over, lent me his 2 Jawas, found some scrap in the foreground and on the sides there. And again, it looked a bit plain with just the three Jawas. And I thought, how can I make it a little bit more quirky, a bit cheeky? So I chucked in a Tusken Raider there, and it came out really well. I think
it has. It's brilliant. Like I say, I'm loving the colors. I think certain colors work really well together and stuff like that. And I think brown's a really good color because brown on yellow is pretty cool. I like that sort of like combination. But the brown against the orangey, purpley sky and stuff like that. I just think it works so well. I've just seen your question or your comment, Kevin Ball. I'm going to choose to ignore that one, mate, about Die Hard. We've been down that road. So yeah, that's I'm not going down there again. So yeah, but yeah, no, absolutely superb. Absolutely superb.
A little bit more detail on the Jawas. I sprinkled some dust or whatever,
okay.
So I picked up some of the stones and just kind of dusted it over the Jawas just to make it a little bit more imperfect.
Yeah. What's this? Des T's put. Yes, it is. I do seem to have quite a few of those. Yeah. R5D4s. Yeah, awesome. Moving on. So this is, sort of like come back round again to the first one. So this is the one with reuse. So I mean, it just makes such a difference, doesn't it, having an extra figure there, Mark?
Yeah. And I think just because it frames a man then in the center, just right
Yeah.
in front of
Yeah.
Han and Carbonite, and like they'd love the first picture of this that we looked at, but I do prefer the trio here. Just for my own personal taste, I think it just works great with the three characters together. Once again, you've got me kind of guessing here as is this like a fully built diorama? It looks very. If it's not, it looks incredibly real.
Yeah.
No,
What I'm looking.
it's not. No. It's not.
Yeah, you could have fooled me. You could. I probably shouldn't have even asked. Because that is working some real magic there. How you've
Yeah.
done this. Like it's really really impressive how you've made this. How you've made this look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
sand.
oh, sorry, go on, Andy.
I was going to say that the sand is absolutely there. So this is the shot where I had to redo it for the second time.
Okay.
I think I can't remember now. I had to flip over the staff because somebody on Instagram said you got it the wrong way around.
Wow.
I think originally Yi Rees was in front of the lights above his head, so I had to redo the shot then. I purposely wanted the shadow on Amanaman's right side of his body. Yes. I think it's come out well.
Yeah, it has. Awesome.
Really
We've got a
well.
question from Shabby. So how long does it take from start to finish to make an awesome photo like this? Fantastic pictures, by the way. Oh, nice one. Cheers, Shabby. Andy?
I think this one in total took. I really wanted to do this one justice. I really put a lot of time and effort into this particular one. I reckon maybe about 2.5 hours. Taking a break.
A minute. Wow.
Putting it on, taking it from my camera, putting it onto my editing system. Remember,
Yeah.
I don't edit a lot of my photographs. Sometimes I'm a bit cat-handed, so I need to straighten them. So maybe 2.5 hours.
Well, what's the longest, Andy, that you've taken to take a shot or to do a photo?
I think I redid a shot which I didn't even, put on Etsy or the website with Han Solo. I think it took me about 6 hours, maybe a bit longer. I just could not get it right, and all it was just one figure. It was just one figure that just wouldn't come out right.
Does it happen a lot then when you I mean, do you sometimes find, and I guess the same question can be asked to you, Mark, as well, is when you're doing photography, I would assume it would be harder to do a big setup with about 5 or 6 figures because you've got the, one of them's going to fall, they probably take the rest down. So I thought that might have taken longer, but it was taking 6 hours just for one figure.
Yeah, thinking about
What
it,
was
you're
the
right.
issue?
No, there was. What's the issue? I had a very dark background and a very dark figure.
Right, yeah.
It was the original Han Solo, who was mainly dressed in black, and I had a very dark background, which at the time, we're going back a few years now, I just couldn't figure out why I couldn't get the perfect lighting, so I gave up on it.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah. What about you, Mark? What's the longest you would say you've taken to do a shot?
Some of those indoor shots I've done before have taken a long time to set up. That the picture of the stormtroopers fighting the aliens that you mentioned earlier, that took a decent amount of time to set up because I was dealing with like magnets and using like magnet lights to set up inside the chamber and that. So it took a lot of doing. I will say one thing, like even though some of my shots have taken a long time, to set up and to work on, it's not always like an arduous, experience. Just because it's taking a long time doesn't mean I'm not enjoying it. Like if you're outside on a nice day and you don't really mind just kind of sitting out there and messing around with the figures and getting the pose that you want. Time actually kind of it flies. It actually catches up on you sometimes just how long you can spend messing around with this stuff. And likewise, whether it's indoor or outdoor, you can kind of get lost in it sometimes, just looking for that shot and spend, hours, messing around with it.
I mean, you've got to have some real patience, and and as Georgie will testify, that's one thing I don't really have too much of is patience. So I can just sit and admire you guys' work and stuff like that. So let's just quickly catch up with the chat. Rees looks like he's about to have a go at the photographer. Han Solo, such a diva, absolutely. Shabby got another question. Is there a story behind your photos, or does an idea just come to you? Again, that can be aimed at both of you. So we'll start with Andy this time.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of my photography is mainly off ideas from the films. You know, it's in
Hey, Martin.
mainly familiar backgrounds.
Yeah,
That's it really. That's a very short answer. Sorry, it's
no, that's okay.
Because of the films, I get my inspiration and have not necessarily scenes, but familiar backgrounds.
Mark.
Well, sometimes there's like genuine inspiration, as in yes, it is inspired by an actual scene from a film, a book, a comic, whatever. There's also a lot of what I might just call like a brain fart, where
Yeah,
I just kind of want to I just want to see what a certain character would look beside another character, and sometimes they could be two things that are completely unrelated to each other, but I'll just chuck them together. Let's see if we can do like a fight scene or a battle scene. It's really like, being honest, it's an excuse to just go and play with your toys kind of randomly and in a childlike manner, and get a few
yeah.
photos on the side as well. But yeah, sometimes I'm actually trying to recreate something, while other times it's just like, okay, this is just a random idea I've got in my head, and I just want to kind of get it out there and see where
Yeah.
it goes.
Okay, cool. So Delvin's followed that on. He's like, that's linked to my next question. In terms of editing photos, where do you draw the line of what you will do? Okay, Andy.
Good question. I draw the line at putting stuff in. So
Right,
there's
okay.
nothing wrong with putting stuff in, editing stuff in the photograph, like an accessory, like the blaster that Reese has got. You can do whatever you want, but my thing is editing with as less editing as possible. Because back in the days when they made Star Wars, everything, there wasn't so much of a blue screen or a green screen. Everything was made out of puppets and figures and stuff. So I wanted to kind of bring that back to my photography.
Okay, cool. I mean, I suppose it could be easily done if you like. For example, you could have taken this photo with just Yak Face and a Manaman, say, and then you could have photoshopped in Rees later.
I could have,
but you don't. You choose not to do that.
No, absolutely. There's nothing wrong with CGI and all the films that are coming out at the moment with CGIs. That's great.
Yeah.
But when it came down to Star Wars, the original Star Wars, those puppets were there. People were inside them.
Yeah.
Everything was actually on set. So I wanted to kind of bring that back to my photography with these original action figures.
Okay, cool. And what about you, Mark?
Well, first of all, I think if we're discuss the difference between myself and Andy, that you could describe him as a professional photographer. I think I'm a little bit more of a guerrilla amateur when it comes to this stuff. So I do like any editing I'm going to do, I do it on my phone, because it's my phone I'm using to take the photos. I don't have a separate camera. So in terms of where I'm willing to draw the line, it's really what the limitations of the device I'm using are willing to do. So like, I've never really been big into, like, at the very beginning I used to actually transfer photos from my phone onto my main computer and actually go through a bit of an editing process. But as the years have gone on, I've started doing pretty much everything on my phone, to the point where the photo editor I use, it's like a phone photo editor. It's specific for using on phones and stuff. So it's all very geared to, this is going to be a photo that's going to be going on the internet. It's going to be going up on to Instagram. And Now, if I was in a situation though, like Andy, I'm not 100% sure. I probably wouldn't be able to get away with using my phone because, you know, with Andy, he's going to have a physical picture that you can hold in your hand at the end of the process as well. Whereas I'm putting out something that's purely going to be viewed on most likely a mobile phone, so I can probably get away with a little less editing than Andy can, because you know
Okay.
there's probably a more you know a crucial look is on Andy's stuff. You know, everybody's really really looking at his stuff and holding it in a high regard, whereas I can kind of get away with you know, just a few easy pictures here and there.
Yeah. No, I mean, don't do yourself a disjustice, Mark. I mean, your photography is absolutely superb. So yeah, fantastic. This one, moving on. It's so simple, but oh my god, it does look pretty cool, effective, and I'm loving the lighting again. And although that figure wasn't a transparent figure, the way you've got it there, it just you know, you're making it look like it's transparent. What do you think, Mark?
It's brilliant. If I was like a Hasbro guy looking at this now, because I know Hasbro own Kenner, I'd be thinking, could we get away with doing like a Ben, you know, old man Skywalker, Anakin Skywalker repaint and like a blue glowing paint? You know, they could be giving
Yeah,
them some product ideas here because it would really work as a figure. No, this is brilliant. This is probably the way the figure should have worked when they put it out back in the day. It should have had that kind of glow off it to actually look like a ghost. No, I think you've
yeah,
done this is like as Stu says, it's simple in the idea, but it's quite striking as a shot in itself.
yeah,
You know, you've taken him and made him that Force Ghost version of himself. It's really cool.
yeah. And I'm liking, like, I don't really want to keep using the word simplistic, but it is the background. It's very simplistic. The figure,
Yeah,
very simplistic. I mean, he's not the most articulated or interesting action figure
yeah.
going, but what you've done there, you've just transformed him. It just looks absolutely stunning. I mean, you know, did you have many difficulties in doing this shot? Many takes?
I did. And going back to what Mark said earlier, when you take a few pictures for the first time, it kind of clicks. But this isn't what happened, but it did the second time round. So
Right.
the first time round, I just used my normal photography light with a black background. And it didn't come out the way I wanted it to come out. I wanted him to be more of a glow, as you
Yeah.
can see now. But the first time round, it just didn't work. So, like, I'm sure Mark gets this as well. You go to bed and you just ponder over it, and then suddenly it comes. Why didn't I stick a blue light over it? You know, so
It's that simple.
that's all it was. So I had a couple of blue lights. Yeah, night number 2 again. I'm there in the pitch black as I usually do. Pitch black. You turn the lights on, and I just put the first light directly on Anakin, and it came in. It turned up in blue. It was so simple. I had a couple of other
Yeah.
blue lights from the side and from the back, and it was so simple. So I wasted a lot of time night number 1, where
Yeah.
night number 2 it just clicked.
Trial and
So,
error.
yeah,
I mean,
I haven't had any feedback about this. I haven't shown it to anybody apart from you guys. So yeah, any feedback would be great.
well, yeah, it's absolutely superb. So we've got some feedback here. Anakin has had his ready break, and then Shabby was saying, I was thinking that Des. And then Des has put simple photo, but looks awesome. Correct head too.
Yes.
You've got the real Anakin.
Yes.
You've got Martin there. I think he what emoji is that? I can't, my bloody eyes terrible. Unbelievable. Oh, I think he's having a conversation with Kieran. He's put, it's a great picture though. Yeah, it is. It's just absolutely striking, and I'm glad you put this one up here, and I didn't realize it was the first time that you've sort of like shown people. So, is this a recent one then?
Yeah, you're right. Yeah, maybe a couple of months ago, I went to a car boot sale. So it's and I just saw it. I just turned my head. The guy was selling stuff, nothing to do with action figures or anything like that. And I just saw it, and I said to him, "How much is that?" Expecting it to be like 50, 60 quid. it was nowhere near that. So I
Yeah.
bought it off him, and he was I think he's my first last 17 figure.
Oh, okay.
So yeah,
cool.
So over the last couple of months, I did this.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, no, I think you've done a fantastic job with that. It looks absolutely superb. Really does. Awesome. Then we've got this one. You went there. You went there. Now, what I mean by this, people, is that the original shot was just Leia and R2D2, and that's one of the shots I picked up from you at Echo a year or so ago. And at the time, that was probably my favorite shot that you'd done. I just love the colors. Again, just absolute awesome. But then you went there with the stormtroopers. Talk us through this, because you know, I know you've talked about it before, but a lot of people might not have seen that episode. So explain the situation here.
Well, setting up the shot can take ages, absolutely ages. So I did the original shot, but the same night that I did the shot, I chucked in a couple of stormtroopers just for a laugh and see what it came of. And then it was about 6 months later, maybe less, that I thought, oh yeah, I need to revisit that and check out the SD card, check out the photograph on the SD card. Yeah, and that's it really. That's the story. I just didn't edit it, look at it for maybe 6 months or so, and that was after our first conversation. Oh, sorry, that was after we first met. Yeah,
but the story with the stormtroopers there, because you don't see the stormtroopers in shot, do you?
No,
it's just a picture of those. But you wanted it to. What would it be like if the stormtroopers were actually there and they'd seen what was going on?
Yeah, a different perspective, kind of behind the camera sort of shots,
Yeah, and I said to you then at the time that would be give a whole new meaning to that sort of like scene. And seeing that picture there, it really does. It just throws it into a different light. It's a whole new perspective to that. What do you think, Mark?
I absolutely love it, and I love the original version of as well. I think when we looked at it originally, I actually said that it could be your like feature photo or your logo picture almost, because it kind of captures pretty much what all your what your work is about, in the sense that you're bringing these figures to life and you're recreating these kind of on-screen moments. And it's the little things, it's the angle she's leaning at, even the fact that R2 has the tilt going. It's the little things that you know instantly what the scene is and what you're looking at and what the moment is supposed to be. And I think like you've done this plenty of times with your other shots, but I think of all of them, this is the one that really kind of captures that spirit the most. And I think adding in the troopers and giving that different perspective has enhanced it even more. So you've taken a picture that was kind of essentially perfect already and kind of made it even more so. So you've made something that was great even greater. I think you did a really bang up job with this one. It's fantastic.
Superb. And what I like about it as well is that the stormtroopers aren't fully in shot. They're there, you can see them there, just like a silhouette. You don't fully see them like with the white and stuff like that. So they're just lurking in the shadows. So that's absolutely superb. Andy, really is cool. Really is cool. And Shabby thinks so as well. So he's put both you lads are very talented. Great photos we've seen so far. Des has put, I appreciate Andy uses the vintage figures, but it would be interesting to see, should I say, this style with the new Ghost figures. What's that? Is that TVC? Yeah. And then Martin's put another brilliant photo and blends two scenes together. Yeah, no, it does. Just incredible photography. Yeah, awesome. Right, what else we got? So we got this one again, another well-known scene from the film. But where were you back in the 80s and the 70s when Kenner was coming out with these Star Wars figures? I mean, honestly, Mark.
Yeah, and I'm not even sure what piece you've been able to use here for the Leia hologram. I don't know my accessories too well, but it's worked perfectly here in this. Now I nearly don't want to say it because maybe I'm totally wrong, and also I don't want you don't have to confirm or deny if this is the case, but is the table that's being viewed on, is that like a tea light candle?
Yes.
That's okay.
And I dropped it in the last second. I thought, what am I going to put the little
That's
figure
genius.
on?
That's
No,
absolutely
you're
genius.
genius. You're genius for figuring it out.
Wow.
So well done you.
See, I wouldn't have known that. I wouldn't have known it as a tea light candle.
So what I said earlier about putting
I'm
things
definitely going to
in.
steal that one. I'm going to
I've
steal that idea, I think.
Yeah. Honestly, it was right at the last second. So I've banged on about I don't use a lot of Photoshop, but I couldn't just have R2 staring at nothing. Well, staring at the little figure. So the little blue figure, Leia, is a figure that again I got off Etsy. I forget the name of the guy that makes them. I'm sorry. But yeah, so I've put in like a blue light and a tea light.
So what was the? I mean, how did it just come to you then to use the tea light? Then I mean, because
last second, I don't know what it was. I saw it and I thought, oh, literally in the last hour before I started, I set everything up.
Yeah.
Got everything the way I wanted it to be, and yeah, it was just
But it works so well. It really does, because looking at it from where I am, you'd think that was part of the set. Is actually
good.
The same. Do you know what I mean? As the flooring and stuff like that. It's just fits in so perfectly.
It's cool.
Awesome.
It's really cool.
Awesome.
But it's sometimes the strangest things will work when you're making stuff like this.
Yeah.
Does it ever or in your process of actually, coming up with this stuff, do you ever have ideas to do something but you just don't have the figures to hand at the time, so you have to wait? Do you have to kind of park ideas sometimes and leave them for a while until you get your hands on the figures, or what way does that work when you're planning these shots out?
Yeah, no, very good question. I've had an idea for maybe well over a year, but the idea has so many figures in it, and I think it involves going outside as well, on Endor. So I've eventually got myself an Endor Luke, who was quite expensive. And then you have to buy the poncho, or find a poncho, or get somebody to lend it to you. Then you have to find the belt. Then you have to find the original gun. And then my idea is going out of control. Oh, I think that would look really good with about 10 commandos. So I'm thinking 10 pound a commando, or I have to borrow a commando. I have to get their weapons. That's another 15 quid a rifle. So if anybody wants to lend me like 10 rifles, that'd be great. And then you have to get the other guys, Han Solo, Endor, Princess Leia, Endor. And then I think, oh, the Ewoks would be good in that shot as well. How many Ewoks have I got? I got 4. How many were there that they released? 8 in total. Then you have to get the accessories. I can't not do a shot without the accessories, because one, up here, it would screw me up. And 2, a real die-hard fan will probably pick me up on it, like that guy did with the upside down staff. People will pick you up on it. So everything has to be.
But that's the thing. It's photography, isn't it? I mean, you can, you don't have to recreate absolutely everything from the movies, do you? So you can have a bit of license there, to artistic license, I would have thought. I can't believe people. I mean, fair enough if it's twisted around and stuff like that, swung around. Fair point. But if you've not got all the figures there and stuff like that, surely that's not going to make a difference, is it? To a picture or to a photo?
It could make.
Really?
It could make a huge difference. It's going to be either good, or if you go all out, it could be amazing. And I've done it before where I thought, oh, I could go all out, and it hasn't. The shot hasn't come out very well. Wow. And you're better off with the smaller ones, but you're never going to know, are you?
No, true. With this one, Andy, you've got the vac metal 3PO, the vac metal head for R2D2. How much difficulty did you have with the glare coming back off the camera, or the lighting with that?
Yeah, very, very, very good question. Yeah, I mean, loads, because otherwise sometimes you see yourself like C3PO, especially C3PO. You see yourself, you see your camera, you see your head popping up. It's like, so you just have to, with my lights, you just have to kind of hover it over, in front, behind, to the side. to ensure you don't see yourself and you don't get too much glare and wash out. You know what I mean by
Yeah.
wash out, when it's too white, the colors disappear. So
Mm.
it's all about just, and that adds to, I was saying about it could take half an hour, it could take an hour, it could take 3 hours.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, because Mark and myself and lots of other photographers are out there are so dedicated, you do have to spend the time getting that perfect shot.
Yeah. Yeah. No, that's, well, interesting. Okay, let's just quickly catch up with the chat. These pictures would have been perfect on the old jigsaw sets we had as kids that used figures to recreate scenes. There you go. Would that be something you would do? But then what, I mean, where do you stand with the licensing for that?
It's a grey area. I don't know. I don't know. I've tried to look into it before.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Okay. And we've got another question from Kieran. If money wasn't an issue, would you consider using 12-inch Star Wars figures for your photographs? Well, Andy.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I have done a handful of modern day figures, and they come out well. But yeah, if money wasn't an issue, yeah, definitely, I'd jump on that bandwagon and come up with loads of crazy ideas.
Yeah, cool beans.
Absolutely.
Right, moving on. What we got next? Again, another classic scene, and yeah, I love the way you've set this up. I love the fact that you've got the two stormtroopers at the front, out of focus, because the focus is solely on Vader and Ben, and you've got the troopers at the back as well, slightly again out of focus. I love the way you've done that, Mark.
It's beautiful. And I know you didn't actually build the whole Death Star bay. You couldn't have, surely. But once again, my mind, it struggles with what's physically there, what could be a background, what's a mirror image maybe. And no, it's beautiful. It's beautiful. The reflective surface, the way Kenobi and Vader are framed there in mid-duel as the stormtroopers look on, it's excellent. And once again, it's instantly recognizable. We know the exact moment in the movie that we're being conveyed here. We know the exact scene that's being showcased, and I think that's like, it's the beauty of what you do. It's just kind of instantly recognizable as to what it's supposed to be, and you've nailed it in this shot again with the Stat Star Jewel.
Yeah, awesome. So cool. And all of these images that we're showing tonight, these are available on Etsy, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, we're going to get to your Etsy page in a second. We've got a few more pictures to show. This one, I just love this. Again, so iconic from the Empire Strikes Back movie. I'm loving the textures, the colors. Yeah, just superb, absolutely superb. And you chose to do this portrait and not landscape. Why was that?
Because of room. I couldn't have a desk or my photography area just full of mud and sticks, and it wouldn't have worked. So how do I save a bit of space? I'll do it landscape. Portrait. And going back to one of our questions earlier, I think this is actually one of the toughest shots I've ever done, because it just kept falling, man. They kept falling. Falling.
Very impressive. Absolutely shabby. Yeah. Mark?
Yeah, well, I'd say you got your hands dirty for this one, Andy. I have no doubt that you were outside looking for the perfect, kind of bits of branches and sticks that you could repurpose as actual Dagobah trees, to find ones that look like they could, and that's the beauty of it, again, because you've got the actual physical wood there, so that that's real. And once again, we've got the optical kind of trickery then to add the depth to it. And like, I'm not sure if that's like modeling clay or whether you actually got real mud. It could well be real mud. It looks pretty real to me. And beautiful just to be able to balance Luke like that and have him be able to hold Yoda. Did you have to use any type of adhesive or anything to get Yoda to stay on the foot?
Oh no, I don't think I did at the top with Yoda, but I certainly underneath the mud. So with the mud, it was mud, and I sprinkled it with water just to get that wet effect. But yeah, under where his hand is in the mud, there is some blue tack, quite a lot of blue tack. So I really had to hide his hand there or his wrist because nobody wants to see blue tack or what it's dug into. So yeah, it did take forever. This shot took forever.
Wow. I mean, when you spend so long on a photo, and again, Mark, this can go to you as well. When you spend so long taking a picture and you're thinking, for crying out loud, and then the end result is something like this, you've got to think, well, that was worth how many other hours I've spent doing that picture or that photo. Mark?
Well, if it was me, yeah, it would definitely be worth it. I'm pretty sure if it wasn't this exact photo, it might have even been possibly another one of Andy's. But I think I've stolen this technique with those branches and used it fairly recently in one of my own photos when I needed trees. I had 2 micro galaxy collection chicken walkers that I was trying to get a shot of, and I think it must have been during our last discussion. We'd either looked at this picture or maybe seen it in another picture that Andy did, but I've stolen this idea definitely for the trees. So no, but like I really appreciate the amount of effort that went into this. Like you can tell it wasn't an easy setup, and it would take time. Even the way the figures are lit, like that type of side lighting it's so well done. It's really well done, and it's almost just like a sliver of light that's coming down from the treetops that's illuminating them. It just really captures that atmosphere.
Well, it does. And what I like about it as well, Andy, is the fact that, it's all merged together well, because obviously you got the background there as well, but it all looks so real. And that's what I love about your photography. Everything that you see with the backgrounds and the foregrounds, you blend them in so perfectly well that it looks like it's a complete scene. So
thank you.
Liking that. And that question goes to you, Andy. When you spend so long doing a shot and then it comes out, the results are like this, you've got to think, yeah, worth it.
Yeah, absolutely. There was definitely a lot of effing in blinding doing the shot. I promise you that. I promise you that. But yeah, I mean, I remember taking so many pictures of this and going through so many pictures. Yeah. Because one little thing with Yoda is a lot of the variants had a bit of a smile.
Okay.
I didn't want that smile.
Yeah.
So if I casted the light in from the right-hand side, right to left, it actually took away, the smile and it.
Oh, okay.
It gave you that nice cast of shadow from left to right.
Wow. Yeah.
So that was on purpose as well. I didn't really want Yoda smiling at you. So how do you get rid of it? You just shine it in from the side.
Fair enough. Yeah, quality, absolute quality. Okay, so I think we're coming down to our last couple now. So here we've got the I've got that vehicle. Pretty cool, actually. I like that. And Mark.
Yeah, love it. And love seeing these vintage vehicles getting a bit of love. These are I always forget that. Is it a mini rig? Is that what these are called?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Really cool seeing one of these get some love. Though I know you've showcased them before in previous shots. Beautiful. Is it Barada or Weequay? I always get these characters mixed up. Yeah. Brought this figure to life once again. Like I'm pretty sure, like, I have this figure. I don't remember ever thinking that the sculpt looked that nice. So that must be your work that's actually really made this figure look a lot better than it is. He looks great. He looks absolutely great. And I just, just another shot. And this is one of those things where you're not actually recreating a moment as such, because the mini rigs don't appear on screen or whatever. But I like to think of this as something maybe movie adjacent, like the designers or the production crew, they actually came up with these vehicles for the movie, but we had a deleted scene or something where you would have gotten to see one fly past, but for whatever reason it was cut. But now we are actually maybe getting a little glimpse possibly of what what that vehicle would have looked like on screen, and I can appreciate that for sure.
Yeah, yeah. It's a case of like what you don't see off screen, isn't it? It's or what you don't see on screen. You know, just around the corner or just behind the skiff or the sail barge, you've got these other two vehicles like in tandem or flying along with it as well. So yeah, that's pretty cool. I do have a question for Mr. B. I'd like to know, how did Yoda get up there? So that was going back to the previous picture.
Force, of course.
The Force. Yeah, there you are. That's it. The Force. Absolutely. Okay, so this is the last one we've got for the time being then, and you've just added Luke to this.
Yeah, just added Luke. It was actually last night I did it and sent it to you, I think, today.
You did, yeah.
Yeah, just again, it's down to that movie familiar scenario, you know.
Yeah.
Weequay's there. I have been a fan of this particular action figure because I personally think there is a lot of detail, especially in the face. You don't see Weequay very much in the film either. So I wanted to. I've had this in my mind for about 6 months.
Yeah.
I found it very hard to get the mini rig because of I don't know what you want to call it, the umbrella arm.
Oh right.
That's quite hard to find. A lot of them you can find on eBay, but a lot of them are broken. This one wasn't broken. Yeah, what can I say? I just chucked it on and thought what I could do.
Yeah, no, again, pretty cool. Liking that. Well, that's the end of your. Sorry, Mark, go on.
I was going to say there's a real sense of movement in this one, even just compared to the last one. I think because of it just looks like they are currently in movement towards the Sarlacc pit, towards the Great Pit of Carcoon. I love it.
Doesn't it make a difference though? Just adding an extra figure to a photo. You know, the one without Luke, then this one here. It's amazing how it changes the outlook of the picture. But there's those. So we'll move those. We're going to get onto your Etsy page now. So I need to go over here. So yeah, here we go. So this is Sidiousart Etsy page. You've got all of Andy's awesome artwork here. Let me just bring this one up because I think this one here is that TVC?
TVC, the Black Series.
Black Series. Wow. Okay. But how cool does that look in a frame? Absolutely awesome. Liking that a lot. That is pretty cool. Right, how do I get back out of here? Oh no, what have I done? Okay, yeah, there we go. Right, there's that. Yeah, so there's that one I thought was pretty cool. And then you've got this one here as well. Liking this. Oh, hello. What's this? Oh, a video. Oh.
We're not seeing the video on our side, Stu.
You're not? Oh, no. Oh, no. Hang on a minute. I know why. Because what's happening is I'm clicking large and it's going to a different page. So, yeah, apologies for that. Okay. Well, I'm enjoying them anyway. That's all good. That's all good. But you've got some absolute stunners here. I mean, this one just here with the Max Rebo. Loving the colours there. I don't know how clearly this is coming up on the screen, lads.
Yeah, it's coming up well.
Yeah, cool. Well. This is the one that I really like, the Biker Scout. This was outside in the rain and just a phenomenal shot. Absolutely superb. Liking that. And these are very, very reasonably priced as well. I mean, are these all, what size are these?
So they start off at, some of them come in 6x6.
Okay.
So you're looking at like more of a square photograph, which starts at £12.
Yeah.
At the moment, they're on offer, like a Christmas offer.
Okay.
For A4 equivalent is like 16 quid. And also I'm doing an 8x10, which a lot of people tend to get signed. So that's so if you want to get an autograph, that is a picture, a size to get autographed. Okay,
cool. So you've got Vader's TIE Fighter there. You've got some turtles going on there, liking that. Ghostbusters, again, really cool. guys, the link to Andy's Etsy page is actually in the description below to this live stream. So Indiana Jones there. Just some absolute superb stuff. I noticed you had some Star Trek as well. Where's that? You had the Bridge Crew, didn't you? Here we go. I mean, look at that. Just absolutely stunning. Absolutely stunning. Predator there. Yeah. So cool. Liking that a lot.
Thank you.
Yeah, Andy, is there anything else you want to say? We're near enough an hour and a half. So we'll call it a day in a minute. Yeah, it's gone quick. It's gone quick. Anything else to say?
If any tips for anybody that's watching, if you're into your photography, always use a tripod wherever you can, and put your camera on manual focus and focus on the subject's eyes. Ensure you focus on those eyes, because if you don't, it doesn't come to life. It doesn't look so real and in focus, but definitely focus on that person's eyes.
Okay, cool. Stu, we can't see it. Yes, I gathered that. I gathered that. He's put, okay, if he's got Star Trek, I'll have a look. Oh, well, cool. And Tiny, that's the size we see. Laugh out loud. Okay, yeah, apologies for that. But what I will say is that Andy's link to his Etsy page is in the description below to this live stream. So please check him out. What have you got planned for next year, Andy? What events are you going to be at, mate?
At the moment, definitely Echo Base. There is a event in Surrey, which I forget the name of at the moment. Definitely going to do Swansea Comic Con, and maybe Reading Comic Con as well. Awesome.
Let us know which one the event is in Surrey, because we're in Surrey, so we'd
I think you went to it. I think you went to it this year, didn't you?
Did I?
Yeah. Near a race course or something like that.
Oh, Sandown.
Was it Sandown? What's the name of that?
Sandown Toy Fair. There's Sandown Toy Fair. There's Kempton. They're at race courses.
There we go. It was Croydon. I'm sure it was Croydon. Which is a million miles away from you, is it?
No, it's not. No, just up the road, so they say.
How embarrassing.
But yeah, okay, no worries. Well, when you find out, let us know. Appreciate that, Shabby. Thank you very much. Really do appreciate that. Thank you. Excellent work. Yeah, absolutely. What's this? Awesome fig pics, guys. Yeah, no, awesome stuff. Absolutely awesome stuff. Mark, anything you want to add?
Well, look, I always love looking at Andy's work, and obviously he doesn't just do Star Wars. That Turtles picture is very nice. So is those Ghostbuster ones as well. But if I was in possession of a decent sized vintage Kenner collection, and I was looking for a centerpiece for that collection, I think it'd be hard to do better than getting one of Andy's pieces, one of Andy's pictures, and having maybe it be the centerpiece and have your figures around it. I think something like that would look absolutely beautiful, in a collector's cabinet or something like that. And maybe if you, not just for the collectors out there, but maybe anybody who happens to come across this stream, if you're a gift giver and looking to buy that special somebody,
Oh, you've got on mute. You've gone mute.
Oh, sorry, I turned on the mute there. But yeah, if you're looking to buy something for a loved one, buy one of Andy's pictures. Can't go wrong.
Yeah, and they are reasonably priced as well. So awesome stuff. What else we got? So we've got Kieran, excellent live stream. BobaHicks, Andy, Stu, and everyone in the chat. Thank you very much. As usual, fans doing the best work. Yeah, again, absolutely. Well, I just want to say a huge thank you to both Andy and BobaHicks for sparing us the time to jump on the live stream. Thank you very much. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Like I said, the links to Andy's Etsy page is in the description below, along with his links to his social media platforms, Facebook and Instagram. I would strongly suggest checking him out. Like I said earlier as well, I'm definitely going to be buying some more. So yeah. So that's it for the live stream. I just want to say a huge thank you to all of those in the chat. It's appreciate you watching along and stuff like that and asking questions. Thank you so much. Don't forget, tomorrow night, 8 p.m. UK time, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Shabby's going to be doing his Q&A. Good luck with that, mate. I'm sure you're going to get some right questions there. But you did say ask anything, so that'll be interesting. I'll certainly be tuning in. For now, that's it. Last live stream of the year for me. So until next year, all the best, and see you soon. Thanks a lot. Take care.
Happy New Year.
Everyone, happy New
Oh
Year.
yeah, Happy New Year.